police associated.
Leaders sought to table that document. Is there any objection? There is no objection. The Honourable David Parker.
Mr Speaker, at a time when 160,000 people have gone to Australia, with youth unemployment is approaching 20%, when we've got the second highest current account deficit in the world after Greece, and next year it's projected by the IMF to be the worst in the world, we've got the government saying it's managing the economy well. Well, I've got news for them, they're not, and I know why. It's because they're beset with scandal after scandal. Their own problems are diverting them from the job of looking after New Zealanders through proper government. We've got manufacturing outside, primary manufacturing in decline, and the government denies there's a problem there. We've got job losses from the north to the south, and the government denies they're there. Mr Brownlee just quoted job statistics which include every job of an hour long. Those statistics are a complete misrepresentation of what's happening in New Zealand. What are the scandals? Well, of course, the most recent one is Kim.com. Start of the year, it was the tea tapes. Does anyone remember that? John Key and John Banks getting caught out at a public meeting, being recorded, complaining to the police, using the police against the media and election, and now miraculously dropping that because it was going to be embarrassing for the Prime Minister and John Banks to stand up in court. Then we had the ACC, we had the Bronwyn Puller affair, followed by the resignation of the Minister and the forced resignation of the Chair and the Board. Then we had the budget. This year's budget, the centrepiece was to improve student outcomes with larger class sizes. Anyone remember that? There have been so many scandals since. That one almost fades into obscurity. What a clanger. Now we've got the Ministry of Social Development. In the middle of it, we've had John Banks, who asked for donations, received envelopes with donations in them, made sure they were banked in Queenstown, thanked the people that gave them, and then signed a declaration that the donations were anonymous. We know what a farce that is, and we've got the Prime Minister trying to pretend that that was in order. In terms of the economy, what's happening? Well, we had mining and national parks, and now the centrepiece for this three-year triennium is the sale of SOE sales. We had Shares Plus off on Monday. Now we've got some shares reserved for iwi on Wednesday. What a shambles. Mr Speaker, no wonder the economy is not doing as it should. In terms of Mr .com and GCSB and Mr Key's role, well, what did he say? He said he didn't know anything about it till September the 17th. These are all facts that are now proven. Then he said he was briefed on them on the February the 29th, but couldn't remember, but accepts that he was. Then Labor sources revealed via David Shearer that on the same day John Key spoke to the staff in the cafeteria. What did John Key do initially? He denied it. And then under further questioning from Paddy Gower, he said that he remembers that he did. Recovered memory. Then we had sources claiming that he had spoken to people in the cafeteria. Again, John Key initially denied it, and now he says he can't rule it out. Now he actually admits it happens. Then we said there was a camera there, and they denied it. Now they admit that they hunted for a camera and they found a camera on a tripod. Now they admit they've got print photos that were taken, shingle shot photos that are taken. All of this was previously denied by John Key, and somehow the National Party says that reflects poorly on David Shearer. What a nonsense. There's only one person that reflects poorly on, and that's that's John Key. Duncan Garner says asked if there was a camera on a tripod, and then finally the Prime Minister admits that it was. We've got the other allegations made by Winston Peters today that haven't been properly answered. Scandal after scandal all year long, and in the meantime we've got Bill English not even understanding his own statistics that outside of primary manufacturing we do have a serious decline in the face of this world's worst current account deficit, which will be plugged, that big hole in New Zealand's account. $10 billion loss in our current account last year, projected to get worse, second only to Greece this year, worse than the world next year. Job losses, 160,000 people off to Australia. Deputy Prime Minister stands up and says, oh, it's going to get better. Well, it will eventually. After 160,000 people have left, more than the total population of Dunedin and Invercargill combined, 40% of them between the age of 18 and 30, of course eventually there's not that many people left to leave. Mr Speaker, this government is in a shambles and our economy is suffering.
The Honourable Joe Goodhue.
Mr. Speaker, it would seem to me